And just like that, we have another V series from Vivo, and this is their V60. So tara, pag-usapan natin. Sa mga hindi masyadong familiar sa V-series ng Vivo, ito yung kanilang high-end mid-range phone. And usually, twice a year itong nilalaunch. So, every 6 months. And kung i-compare natin siya sa X-series nila, which is their flagship lineup, ayon, once a year naman. Actually, no, kung maaalala ko nga, tatlo or dalawa yung under this lineup. Meron tayong Pro, meron tayong nitong regular, tapos meron tayong light. Honestly, I am glad na medyo na-slim down yung choices dahil na rin siguro sa sobrang dami ng phone, alam nyo. Unang-una, ang hirap mag-keep up, lalong-lalo na if sabay-sabay silang ilo-launch. Sa iba naman hindi kasi mas mahirap lalong mamili. Lalong-lalo na ngayon, sa X-series ng Vivo guys, mas madami na silang products under this lineup. Kung maaalala nyo nga, sa TikTok, we talked about the Vivo X200 FE. Anyway, napa-reminisce lang naman ako kasi dati no, lagi tayong may Pro. Pero okay na din siguro yon. Anyway, what should you expect with this Vivo V60? So, meron tayong tatlong main upgrades. Again, main. One, of course, a better chipset from 7 Gen 3 to a 7 Gen 4. Second, we have a bigger battery capacity. And third, we now have a dedicated telephoto lens. But of course, itong mga to, may mga compromises ng onte, so pag-uusapan natin yan ngayon. Anyway, no more unboxing dahil nagawa ko na yan sa TikTok. Pero gusto ko lang sabihin, ang ganda ng case na kasama sa kanya. Talaga namang nakakulay nung phone na meron ako. This is in purple ha, and feeling ko ito din yung hero color nila this time. So, pakita ko sa inyo pag naka-case na siya. O, diba? May kamukha, no? Para siyang iPhone 16 dahil doon sa dual camera setup niya. Vertically placed na yung camera module niya that houses the 2 camera lenses. And of course, yung pangatlo, yung nasa kanan katabi ng aura light na may onting wobble lang, pero pag naka-case na, hindi na masyado. Hindi rin ganun ka-evident yung camera bump niya, hindi katulad ng ibang Vivo phones nila. Wala na ako nung Vivo V50 sa akin, pero ito yung side-by-side comparison nila. Kung mapapansin nyo, may mga slight changes na nagbago sa itsura niya. Sa tingin ko, mas maganda yung design ngayon, mas cohesive tignan, and again, mas malinis. Actually, mas numipis din yung phone, and fact-check lang natin, ang sabi kasi ni Vivo na ito daw yung slimmest smartphone that houses a 6,500 mAh battery capacity. To be exact, it's 7.53mm. And actually, hinanap ko talaga siya, and totoo naman yung claim nila. Nasa akin pa yung X200 FE and same sila ng battery capacity actually, but iba yung kapal ng phone na to. Again, same 6,500 pero grabe yung nipis nitong V60. And apparently, I noticed that the past few days, I find the V60 more comfortable to use. Siguro dahil dun sa curved back niya. Well, mas maliit yung FE, syempre mas madaling gamitin one-handed. Pero ito naman, kahit hindi siya ganun kadaling gamitin ng isang kamay lang, iba yung comfort niya kasi nga hindi sharp yung edges niya. At the same time, the brand is also claiming na ito yung pinaka-durable phone nila yet under the V-series lineup. Una-una, this is because of the Scott Core Glass Protection. Actually, mali ako. Shot pala yung pronunciation nun. Anyway, ibig sabihin nito, it's 37% more drop resistant than the previous generation of the Shot Alpha Glass. To fully disclose, syempre, hindi ko naman na-test kung talagang sobrang durable niya kasi ayoko namang basagin yung phone just for the sake of that. Sayang. But I did test yung bago nilang IP rating. Meron siyang dalawa, which is the IP68 and IP69 rating, which means it can withstand up to 1.5 meters in fresh water for as long as it's under 120 minutes. Which is very long in fairness kasi madalas yung mga phone, kunwari yung Oppo na recently natin na-review, ang alam ko under 30 minutes lang yon. Anyway, pag-usapan na natin yung cameras niya, which is what this phone really is. Camera-centric talaga siya. Medyo mixed feelings ako dito dahil doon sa camera hardware niya. So, unang-una, kung maaalala nyo, again guys, yung Vivo V50, dalawa lang yung camera nun. Nalungkot tayong lahat kasi wala siyang dedicated telephoto lens. Ngayon, nilagyan nila ng dedicated telephoto lens pero may konting adjustment. Binawasan nila yung ultra-wide camera. I know naman we cannot always just depend solely doon sa megapixel count. Again, depende pa rin yan sa ganda ng software niya. Pero syempre, it still affects the output eh. Yung sharpness, yung clarity, apektado pa din. So, yung ultra-wide noon na 15 megapixels, it went down to 8 megapixels. Ngayon, ang tanong ko sa inyo, would you choose the dedicated 50 megapixels telephoto lens compared doon sa 50 megapixels ultra-wide lens noon? Actually, very curious ako. Let me know sa comments. If you were to notice yung photos natin, again, the 50 megapixels and the telephoto lens that has a 3 times telephoto zoom has an OIS. Nakakatulong to avoid blurred images kapag shaky yung hands natin. At the same time, really improves low light. Possible then to shoot 4K 60 FPS both on these cameras. May mga onting oversaturation sa ibang photos, lalong-lalo na if portrait shots. Pero kung pag-uusapan yung subject to background separation, dyan magaling si Vivo. Ang ganda, and I would say very promising yung edge detection. Pero I wouldn't say it's perfect, but definitely so much better than its competitors. And then for the ultra-wide shots, syempre, dito medyo bumaba na yung quality ng photos. Hindi naman siya sobrang disappointing if outdoors or enough yung lighting natin, maganda naman yung kalalabasan. So yes, I would say usable pa din, especially for social media usage. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin yung mismong photo or yung camera app. Tignan natin kung may mga bago or may mga additional features. Syempre, by opening the camera app, bubungad sa atin yung usual night, portrait, and of course, video mode. And then once you swipe up from the photo mode, again, lalabas yung ating film camera, which is also present from the previous Vivo V50. May mga bagong iilan lang ng photo paper and of course, filters. Now, once you go to the more menu, dito makikita nyo yung underwater photography. Hindi ko matandaan kung nasa V50 to, pero sa pagkakaalam ko talaga, walang ganito. Once you tap the underwater photography, dito na natin siyang pwedeng gamitin underwater. Kasi alam naman nating lahat na pag nasa tubig na siya or nababasa na, yung touchscreen niya, medyo hindi na siya responsive. So, best is to use yung mga buttons niya. Tapos, may bago ring feature dun sa portrait mode niya. Meron na siyang dalawang bagong focal length na pag ginagamit yung ZEISS portrait lens kit. Those are the 85 and the 100mm option. Perfect for that shoulder length portrait or close-up shots. Now, since we are already on the camera app, may mga iilan na bagong features like the AI 4-season portrait. To access this, of course, you need to go to the camera app, go to portrait, and then sa taas may makikita kayong AI button. Once you tap this, you can access now the AI 4-season portrait option. Gets ko naman na dalawa lang yung season natin here in the Philippines. But with this option, this will dramatically change the mood of your photos. Yun nga lang, you cannot use this on your old photos. So right away, you really have to choose this filter if you're gonna use it. Next, we have two new AI features like the AI Magic Move, wherein pwede nyong i-move or i-shift yung subjects nyo to create a more dynamic composition. And then of course, AI Image Expander. Ito hindi na to masyadong bago sa akin, but again with Vivo V-series, this is new. From the name itself, it extends the edges of your shot, lalong-lalo na if masyadong tight yung pagkakakompose nyo. At the same time, of course, meron pa rin tayo nung Aura Light na ito yung special flash ng Vivo na matagal na nila lang ginagamit at tinatawag na Aura Light. It doubles up as a continuous light with adjustment control temperature and brightness. Actually, very popular si Vivo sa feature na to. Bukod dito, kilala rin si Vivo noon yung V-series nila na meron silang color-changing back panel. Hindi ko alam kung color-changing pa din hanggang ngayon yung ibang colors ng phone na to, pero itong purple na meron ako is not color-changing. Now, for the selfie camera, same pa rin po, wala tayong pinagbago sa kanya. It still is a 50 megapixels. Ito yung ilang photos if you guys want to see. Nauusapang performance naman tayo. Dito na papasok yung chipset, yung Antutu score niya, battery life, charging, etc. Unang-una yung display niya. It still is a very familiar one. Why? It is because it still is the same. It's the same 6.77-inch AMOLED panel na Full HD Plus yung resolution. I guess ang nagbago lang talaga is nag-bump up sila ng peak brightness, which is from 4,500, they made it into 5,000. Sakto yung upgrade ng brightness, pero other than that, again, screen specs remain unchanged. Hindi naman to problema sa akin. Again, no. If it ain't broke, why fix it, right? I guess ang hinahanap ko lang talaga sa phone na to, not just the Vivo V60, but other phones with the same price range, is a dynamic refresh rate. Ngayon kasi, adaptive refresh rate siya, although wala namang problema dito. Sa mga flagship phones kasi ngayon, not just Apple, meron silang capability to go all the way down to 1 Hz up to 120 Hz. Moving on, sa speaker naman na meron yung V60, meron siyang stereo speaker setup. Okay pa rin to, hindi rin siya masyadong nagbago compared to the Vivo V50. Yung isang speaker niya nandun sa earpiece. Now, for its software, it runs FunTouch OS 15 on top of Android 15. Hindi pa po siya Android 16 ha, out of the box. Mukhang nire-reserve to ni Vivo sa mga flagship phones nila. Pero syempre, you will get the same update naman on this phone. Yun nga lang, you'll have to wait. Kahit papano on par naman yung Vivo V60 in terms of software support doon sa mga flagship phones nila. So yes, this device will get the same 4-year operating system updates and 6 years of security patches or updates. Malinis yung UI niya pero hindi siya sobrang or heavily customizable. And then napansin namin out of the box, halos 5 to 7 lang yung applications na from third party. And then, in terms of the performance or yung output niya, again, nag-improve nga siya from 7 Gen 3 to a 7 Gen 4 SoC. Yung chipset na meron siya, hindi siya sobrang bago. Na-try ko na rin to, and I would say this chipset lacks the raw power na hinahanap nyo sa isang phone na ganito yung pricing. Again, ganun naman talaga most of the time, lalo na sa mga camera-centric devices. Hindi ito yung first time natin. Yung ganitong chipset, okay siya for multitasking. Kayang-kaya pa rin maglaro ng AAA game, pero syempre, not for those who are a power user or yung mga pro gamers talaga. And then, by the way, I forgot to mention, yung physical RAM nito is 12 gig na, and then the storage is 256 gig. Which is also the same variant na we reviewed 6 months ago. Specs-wise, okay siya, bagay siya doon sa price point na meron siya. Again, hindi sobrang sulit, pero hindi rin naman overpriced. For me, it really is a well-balanced phone. Again, it has a massive 6,500 mAh of battery capacity, which is 500 more than its predecessor. It also is paired with a 90 watts flash charge support. Yung charging speed same pa rin from last time, which is totally fine kasi 90 watts, guys, is to me already impressive. Sa totoo lang, very, very similar yung battery life na binigay sa amin nito katulad nung X200 FE, which is almost 2 days. And that is even with heavy usage. Anyway, I'm sure you guys are asking, should you buy the Vivo V60? Sa totoo lang, ito pa rin yung isasagot ko sa inyo. Kung naka Vivo V50 ka, I don't think it's time for you to upgrade. Lalong-lalo na meron lang siyang 6 months almost na duration. This is more enticing for those who still has the V30, V40, ganyan. Kung medyo important sa inyo yung UFS storage, UFS 2.2 lang yung meron siya, which is, I think, one of the cons lang that you might want to take note of. Kung hindi naman din masyadong big thing or issue sa inyo yung FunTouch OS, I think ma-appreciate yung Vivo V60. Despite those flaws sa tingin ko, it still is worth considering. Especially if you seek a good camera phone with a really durable battery life. Anyway, that's it for our Vivo V60. I guess kita-kits ulit after 6 months. Tapos V70 naman. Anyway, again, it's your Tech Girl Mary and see you in our next video. Bye!